Hi there. How does one start a
Kevin.
podcast? So, welcome. This is Terrifyingly Beautiful with David Robert.
Hello. And it's our first episode.
That's where you introduced me.
Oh, hey, Kevin.
Yeah, and I'm here too.
Yeah, clearly you have no idea what we're doing quite yet.
So this is Kevin O'Connell, and that is
Dave Robert.
So, our idea behind doing Terrifyingly Beautiful is that we're both semi-successful gentlemen who are we're semi who both have really bad anxiety and kind of are fearful of most things, but I think we've been able to turn it into success, or
well, I think
sometimes
at the very least we have a healthy sense of humor about it.
True. And our idea is to we know that everyone out there is probably feels some sort of anxiety, and our hope is that by talking about it and having a sense of humor about it, that it'll make it a little easier.
And what's kind of interesting is that, beyond like the typical fears, fear of like dying, fear of falling from a very high place.
Oh yeah, all of
I
those.
have anxiety about like subtle sort of agnostic stuff too, which is kind of interesting. And you'll hear more about this as we record more of these podcasts. But and my topic for today, I think, falls into that category.
Well, I mean, there's not like anything that I don't take from a small issue and then turn it into, step B, C, D, and E, and at the end it's just like this terrifying thing that I've made up in my own mind.
Well, they say anxiety. I don't know who says it, but I'll quote the sort of the cloud that anxiety is a sign of high intelligence because you have
and I am the smartest fucker on the planet
to think through all the possible ways you can get hurt or die.
Yeah, it's probably some sort of like deep-rooted survival instinct, right? It's natural to be fearful of things that can kill you.
Yes.
So, but then I wonder, like, the ones that don't make sense. Like, I used to see those Maury Povich episodes where, like, the woman couldn't look at a pickle. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh my
God!
gosh.
Couldn't look at a pickle?
Like they said, this woman has a fear of pickles, and the audience laughs, and they like bring out a dill pickle, and the woman like runs off the stage, like,
oh my God,
in complete fear.
My partner has the opposite. He loves pickles. In fact, when we lived at the mall, across from the mall, a couple years ago, they nicknamed him Pickle Pete from across the street because he'd always go to the restaurant at the mall and order pickles.
I don't know. That's a great nickname. Also, should clarify you didn't actually live at the mall.
No, sorry, across from the mall.
Yeah.
It felt like
David's homeless, everyone.
Yeah. Back to semi-successful, right?
Yeah. So, David and I met. We're trying to figure out today how long ago we met. We think it's close, somewhere 8 to 10 years. But
we're just babies back then.
Yeah, and I think we kind of like found our non-sexual life partner in each other, where we're like, oh, you're kind of crazy. Oh, you're kind of crazy.
My spirit animal.
Oh, thanks.
We do have very similar minds. Yours is way more sophisticated and faster than mine is, but we tend to land in the same spot. Which is interesting. Yeah,
which is like just utter despair or panic. We also really love doing those escape room things. If you don't know what an escape room is, it's like a big puzzle it's this trend that's kind of going across the nation where they lock you in a room and it's a big puzzle for an hour. And to see David
Talk about
and I,
anxiety.
Oh yeah, we definitely put that to work in there.
And they put this huge most rooms, this huge clock on the wall, and it just ticks down.
And every 10 seconds, David screams, "Oh, we need a clue. We're doing terrible. This is the worst we've ever done. We're never getting out."
I have a fear of like not getting out, right? So if you're offering clues, I'll take it. But yeah. So Kevin, did you want to talk a bit about like sort of the flow of the podcast?
Yeah. So this might change as we go along, but we thought we would talk about a couple of things throughout the day or the week that caused us anxiety, or were a little bit funny as to the way we looked at them, and then each one of us would choose a topic with the hopeful intent that we can take something that causes fear and try to play devil's advocate and
find
the positive in it, right? So,
although I do have a suspicion that my topic I'll raise later on in the podcast, it's going to be hard for you to convince me that there's nothing not terrifying.
Oh,
about it.
I'm sure once we start talking about anything, I'll be if anything more fearful.
I can't wait.
But yeah, so this week I traveled for work, and I would like to do a whole future episode on travel fears, but the one that really kind of got me today was that's how insecure you are when you're in a hotel. So you have those little stupid cards that are magnetic that they can just make at the front desk. And every time you're in that room, I feel like anyone could come in at any given time.
Yeah, so your life or death is being held hostage by a 99-cent or a 10-cent card, right?
Right.
Well, I told you the story. I was in New York. I probably shouldn't say the name of the hotel, but I was in New York near Times Square and Penn Station, and I checked in. They gave me the room card. I go up to like the 12th, 13th floor, whatever. I swipe the card. I open the door, and there's a man in bed. And I was like, and he was startled, and I was like, oh my god, I checked in late. I go, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Close the door. I was like, this
Was he
can't be right.
cute?
No, I didn't get a good look
Oh.
at him, but yeah, I would have stayed. Like, hey. So I went back down to the front desk and I explained what happened, and the clerk was like, well, that's impossible. I said, no, there's definitely. Well, did you see a person? I go, I saw him. And then the person next to me was complaining about the same thing. They must have had a glitch in their system, and they were giving out cards to rooms that were already occupied.
See,
And
that's
and
terrifying.
I thought to myself, what if you were like a single woman, a young woman who's
Beyonce.
in your room, yeah, and like somebody came in the room. It was
I don't
terrifying.
care who you are. I'm like the worst person ever when I'm in a hotel. Like I very rarely wear proper attire.
But you don't you always use those like door locky things? You
Well,
slide it over.
So my partner Jesse is so neurotic about that. So not only do we have that on there, the do not disturb sign is out whether or not we're in the room ever. Because I'm assuming the maids, the staff. I don't want to say maids because I'm sure there are male housekeeping staff.
Sure.
Although I don't think I've ever seen one. It's
A
probably
male
like
housekeeping
it's
staff?
probably like a unicorn.
Well, so in Dubai, I lived there for 3 years,
Yeah.
obviously, and it was only male staff, so females were not allowed to hold those positions because there was too
Oh.
much of a risk of them maybe doing something not their doing, but being attacked
Oh,
or
God.
accosted. So it was
Well,
only men who cleaned.
We'll
the
do a
room.
whole Dubai episode because that
God,
just
don't get me
sounds
started.
nightmare fuel. Yeah, so I assume that there's a master key, right? They've got to go in there.
They have to
And-
you're, well, at least maybe it's by floors because I think a housekeeping staff person only stays on one floor, perhaps. At larger
I doubt
hotels.
that. What if someone calls out sick? That card's got to work for every door.
That's crazy.
Ugh, and I don't like that because now, like, if you 7 o'clock, they're knocking on your door, housekeeping, and I'm like, come
I
on.
haven't even gone poop yet.
Yeah, like who in their right mind is like, oh yeah, I'm just ready to go. Ugh, but yeah, that stressed me out, and then I started thinking about all like murders in hotels and probably someone's died in this room or in this bed. That's where my mind goes.
Well, you should bring one of those blue lights one time and kind of shine it.
No, why would you
See
do
all the
that?
blood on the wall.
That's how you turn into like Howard Hughes with like Kleenex boxes on your feet.
I saw an episode on like 2020, I think, a number of, or maybe it's Dateline NBC, and they went into like various hotel chains, and some of them very expensive hotel chains, and some like the regular ones like Comfort Inn or whatever, and they shined or shone that light. It was shocking.
Well, do you remember the whole Mike Tyson like rape case back in I think it was like late 80s, early 90s?
Oh my god.
They well, it must have been later because they like took the bed cover off of the woman he was accused of raping, and there was like
hair.
there were 7 different men that were like not even around, identifiable
Well, the
on
first
that.
thing you do in a hotel is you rip the cover
Is
off.
you burn it.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Oh my god.
so gross.
I was in. So this is like a complete side story, but I was traveling with my friend Michael, and I was in Cambodia.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, Mike Tyson. Yeah, this is after the rape, and we were in a hotel that it looked beautiful online, like Shangri-La, and we should have known it was like $8 a night, but we figured,
Yeah.
We show up, and I felt so bad. They gave you like a little welcome drink, and I swear there's a tadpole in the drink, and I was like, this is not going to go well for me. And we get to the room, and literally, I sat down, and a cloud of dust kicked up on the bedspread. And I was like, nope.
Somebody's ashes.
Exactly.
So, by the way,
terrifying.
if you hear some noises in the background, we are also sipping wine because life. And
Yes.
also there is a
Little chihuahua.
very old ancient chihuahua snoring on a Britney Spears pillow.
She is snoring. Oh, it is Britney Spears.
Yeah, she's really ancient. She just got pissed off that you touched her pillow.
Sorry.
But that's Tootie. That's my
Tootie.
dog
Oh
Tootie.
my god, she's so cute.
Yeah.
I have
So-
a chihuahua as well, Hobbs,
That's right.
who's not ancient.
And who
much
has
to
your
my-
disorder.
Yes, I was just talking to Kevin on the ride over here about what's making me anxious this week are my 2 fucking dogs.
Ugh.
I don't know who told me that getting 2 puppies is easier than 1.
That's a
Having 2 kids is
goddamn
easier than 1.
lie.
It's
I
a
mean,
huge lie. It's just twice the anxiety. And I have 2 yappers. I have a Chihuahua and a Jack Russell. Hobbs is the Chihuahua and Wiki's the Jack Russell, and they just bark from the moment they get up until the moment they go to bed. And I tried everything. I tried like the bark machine where they bark and it's supposed to like put some high pitch that you're not supposed to hear.
oh,
And I went deaf for almost a full day because I'm the only one who heard it.
so you have dog frequency
I'm a
hearing?
canine, yeah, like a teenager. And then I've tried like distracting them. I run them on the beach, and they just will not stop barking. And then I have to have conference calls for work. I work from home.
That's why we're recording
in
here.
my car in the driveway because I can't have them at home.
You should get a Basenji.
What's a Basenji? Oh, this is the hairless.
No, it's not like one of those. It's like I think it's an Egyptian
Egyptian
dog, but it doesn't bark. Like they don't have the capability to bark.
I'd probably complain then too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you'd be like,
he's
my
so
dog's
quiet.
silent.
He hates me.
Name it Keller.
That was awful.
What? I could not think of any other famous mute person. I'm sorry.
There's the
She's not going to be listening
There's
to this.
the actress who won the Oscar.
She's deaf, not a mute.
Oh my God, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Marley Matlin.
That's what it is. So, anyways,
Should we get to your topic? How
Well,
much time
I
are we
had
in?
one
Oh
more-
yeah, we got to talk about your dogs more.
I
And
had one more thing to talk about though. So,
I have like 80 more, but
well, maybe I'll save it because
no, go ahead. Good.
So the warm weather's here, right? And I shouldn't complain because I've been complaining since October about how cold it's been. We live in New England, by the way. And what is now becoming very evident is that with the warm weather coming, all the insects are out.
It's so I just killed one
I know, just on the couch here. But, and I can do a cricket, and I can tolerate those small ants you might see in your driveway, but that's about it. I mean, we're gonna do a whole episode on insects because terrifying.
Back in like middle school, they had us do this project where we had to collect 50 insects and like pin them to a board and identify them. Oh my God, it was like doing probably like a thesis work. It took me so long because I've been terrified of bugs, and I'm gonna do a whole separate episode on bees, and there's no way you're gonna calm me down or you down off of bees because I know we have that.
Well, I mean, I think I have some suggestions for they could.
Yeah, I know they like pollinate
this.
flowers and make all the world's food and shit, but I don't care. I'll eat spam if there could
You
be no
probably
more
need
bees.
Bees to create spam.
So yeah.
Well, if you need, you should come over to my house because on our screen door that goes out to the back, we have a screen that on the sliding door, and there was like at least 100 types of bugs that were pinned to that screen last night.
That's so gross.
I was dying. I mean, and you've been at my house before. When a bee comes near me or a spider, and
I will throw myself off a cliff to avoid a bee.
Okay, so it's hilarious. So I tend to scream like a little girl. I mean,
I know.
in a very, very high pitch. And one time I was in Wisconsin for a wedding, and Pete was with me, my partner Pete, and 2 of our friends, Lisa and Amy, and we were walking along the riverfront, the waterfront.
They have rivers in Wisconsin?
Yeah, in Milwaukee, yeah.
Of
And,
cheese?
Yeah,
Beer and cheese river?
Beer and cheese. It was October, so it shouldn't be high insect season. And literally this, like, what I described at that time as a tarantula with dragonfly wings came flying right toward me, and it latched onto my
spiders,
sweater.
there's probably, I don't think, I'm not an entomologist, but I don't believe there's any spiders that have wings.
I'm telling you right now, it looked like a tarantula with wings, and it latched onto my sweater. I screamed so loud that Pete, he's been in the military 22 years, right? He went into like PTSD mode, and he dropped down on the ground. And Lisa flung herself over the railing, and she thought like a terrorist attack was happening. But so
I'm the spider killer in the house, believe it or not. We have these spiders in this house, which I lovingly, and I know you're sitting in my house right now, so you're probably gonna freak out. I lovingly refer to them as spooky spiders because it seems like their only goal in life is to drop down from the ceiling right in front of your field of vision.
why are you telling me this?
For
Oh
no
my God.
reason. Then they just, I know, I'll keep an eye out. Spiders actually don't bother me. It's the flying, stinging things. And
Yes, the
fuck
flying
ants.
tarantula.
Just fuck ants. I hate ants.
I don't mind the ants. I mean,
No.
I do hate it when they push up the dirt in your patio.
Oh, I have ants in my yard every year, and I like poison them. And this is what I'm talking about, like where I can make things go really bad. I will put out ant baits, and then because there'll be like an ant colony, like there'll be like 5 mounds of ants, and then I feel bad because I'm like, I just destroyed a civilization. Seriously, this is what I think about. Like,
Well, there was a who's that like physicist that we always see on like the super smart guy?
Neil deGrasse
Yeah,
Tyson,
yeah. He was doing like a
Tyson
a
throwback.
conversation about all the theories about why we're here, why we exist, what the universe means, right?
Okay, I'm
And
scared.
one of the theories is that we are like a colony of ants, and that this whole planet is nothing more than an ant mound, and that something bigger, like a human to an ant relationship, may come along at any moment and just sort of like
Cool.
push us away.
Yeah, I think about like the movie Independence Day. Like the humans are all pissed off that the aliens are there, and like we have to fight them. What if the ants rise up? Because I mean, my whole goal is to destroy their civilization.
And there's probably 1 trillion ants in the world, right? At
there's
least.
probably more than that.
There has to be. I mean,
Let's just go. Let's pick a number. There's
50 trillion.
50 trillion. There's 50.6 trillion ants. Look it up. It's accurate. By the way, if you're expecting like research and stuff,
No.
it's not going to happen
This
here.
is totally off the cuff.
We will also take like any rumor, like I heard that rumor of back to hotels where the people slept on top of the dead body. It probably didn't happen, but I will take that as fact in my life and make it a fear of mine.
And we'd love to hear corrections or other feedback. We have
No, not if they're mean.
not mean. No, I mean we're just all about happiness here. So we do have an email.
Yes.
terrifyinglybeautiful@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you and
Yeah.
give you a shout out on the show.
Tell us what you like. If you don't like something, be nice about it. But tell us about your irrational fears and maybe something you've done to overcome them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or a possible topic we could discuss at one of the shows.
Yeah.
Great.
Or
Yeah.
just something to scare the shit out
Shut
of
up
us. Which will
Which won't be
most
difficult.
likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my topic.
Okay.
Okay, so
Let me just preface this by saying we've promised to not tell each other the topics in advance so that like it's
be
real.
spontaneous and
It's
real,
spontaneous, yeah. So
which is so hard for me because I'm a planner.
yeah, and also now I have anxiety over what your topic is. We were going to do 2 topics, one each, but then I was really worried that we were going to pick the same thing because we both tried to register our email domain name at the same time, and I was like, it's taken.
I took it.
So yeah, we share a
Yeah.
brain. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So it's gonna sound like a very bizarre. I mentioned at the beginning of the episode around sort of trivial things I get anxious about, and so it's gonna seem very trivial and kind of funny, but it's honestly, apart from the things I talked about earlier about dying, falling, spiders, this creates a ton of anxiety for me.
Okay.
So I want to talk about salad bars.
Oh, okay. Oh, I actually know way more about this than I should.
Oh my God. So I'll give you the context here
Okay.
briefly. So when I go, it's hard to go to a restaurant without seeing a salad bar. And Pete and I
Well-
love going to this restaurant down the street, Sam's Inn,
Yeah.
and they have a salad bar.
Don't they have a sign that says like the best salad bar
Yeah, but
in Rhode Island?
yeah, but I hate that kind of hyperbole crap. It's
Oh,
like
every cup of coffee is the best cup of coffee in New
yeah,
York.
exactly.
Sorry.
So when I see a salad bar, I don't see like vegetables and fruit and pasta salad. I see the
Ebola.
I see the 14 million faces who were there before me.
Oh yeah.
With their dirty fingers and their phlegm aspirating out of their mouths, and oh my God. So Pete loves a salad bar. I mean, he loves a salad
I love
bar.
the things at salad bar. Like potato salad is my favorite food.
Nope.
But
No.
it's like that Robitussin commercial that's out right now where they make the people cough and it's like this purple cloud. Have you? Oh, it's
You don't even have to. You can see it. So I'll give you an example. So I was at the casino the other night. Big shocker, right? And they have a VIP area that we're invited into occasionally, and and they have a salad bar. It's more of a buffet, but it's really a salad bar. And so I'm in line. I didn't want to do it because I was like, ugh, but I was hungry. It was free, so I'm in line behind this older guy, maybe 60 years old. He literally was like wrestling with a nose hair with his pointer finger. And at one point, I was behind him in line for like 3 or 4 minutes. It seemed like 100 years, but like 3 or 4 minutes. He had the whole first section of his pointer finger up his nose. And so I was like, I started to like have shallow breathing, and I was like getting like sweaty. And I was,
He
like,
was standing at the salad bar just digging.
he's waiting to get into the salad bar, so he picks the plate
He
up.
was in the salad bar.
He picks the plate up, and this is no word to lie, Kevin. He reaches in with his bare hand and grabs the cold green beans out of the bowl and shoves them in his mouth.
No.
And now he's like, I'm thinking like that was the booger finger that you just put into the bowl of green beans that I had my eye on behind you. And then he was eating with his mouth open, so pieces of the green beans were flying out back into the bowl.
See, you should be able to just shoot that person and like the murder's justified.
Well, this is another reason why I'm terrified of salad bars, because I'm going to get my face punched in one day. I can't keep my mouth shut. So I was like, sir, this is a public
How else are they going to learn, David?
It's a public place. And you just put your nose hair finger into the green beans. And now I have to like, and he basically told me to fuck off. But I was like, oh.
Well, I'm shocked he didn't have any manners.
I had to run back to the bar and have a martini. I was so upset.
Oh, God. Okay. So, we should preface this, by the way, that neither David and I are trained professionals in psychiatry or psychology.
This is not a podcast to tune into if you want like medical advice.
Yes, what we're telling you is ways to have humor about how fucked up the world is. That's why the name of our podcast is Terrifyingly Beautiful, right? The world is a fucking scary place, but it also can be a beautiful place, and you can't let these things terrorize you and stop you from experiencing life.
Okay, one more quick story about the salad bar.
No, I'm bringing this back to the salad bar.
Okay.
So I love that you hate salad bars, but yet you're at them all the time.
I don't go to them all the time.
I feel like they're dying out because that was like a big 70s and 80s thing, right? Like Ponderosa, Hometown Buffet, which is just like...
How about the Old Country Buffet? It's also like a little shopping
Oh my gosh, I'd rather have a colonoscopy with a crowd. That's so gross.
And it's usually those places are all you can eat. And so all of my like social... anxiety buttons get pressed at these salad bars because it's all you can eat, but you see that person, I know you can visualize this person who is like, his plate has like 19 pieces of fried chicken on it.
Oh, like they've created a wall of food to put more food in.
It's like, you can come back for more. You don't have to take the entire bucket of fried chicken.
Yeah, well, that's why they give you those tiny ass plates, so it looks like you have more food.
Oh my God. It's like, makes me crazy. But, yeah, so one more quick story about the salad bar. So
the same salad bar?
At the casino.
Oh.
I probably should stop going to the casino. It's probably not a problem. But so I came. It was actually the same day.
You're gambling with your life.
I came back the same day. So I was gambling for a bit, and we're chatting with some friends, and then I went back to the salad bar. I go, you know what? They changed the offering. Went from like an early morning type offering, and then they went to dinner, right? Okay, great. So the green beans are gone, safe. I look over at the salad bar.
Did you leave them there for other people to eat the green beans?
I didn't say a word.
Oh, I would have had to ruin them so that nobody could eat it.
Well, I mean, I would have. So this is why I said to you earlier, your mind works faster than mine, and I was like I was actually paralyzed because I was so upset, and I was just envisioning like that stupid finger on the green beans and wanting to like punch the guy in the face, but. Anyways, so I digress. So I look over the salad bar, and there's a line of like 4 foot women, like in their 90s. It looked like somebody threw a container of Q-tips, and they all kind of leaned up against the salad bar. So their chins were literally resting at the level where the food was being served.
Well, any food preparation that has a legit sneeze guard, which means that they put that there because it's an issue.
They couldn't even touch the sneeze guard if they were on their tippy toes.
Right. Oh God. The food should be served like the way the opening of The Simpsons, where Homer Simpson puts his hands in the gloves to hold the like uranium rods. That's how a salad bar should be.
Okay, I can go to a salad bar without anxiety if I'm the first person there. So if the restaurant
and also
opens
you've
at
made
like
the food and make sure it's properly refrigerated.
Well, I haven't even gone that far yet, Kevin. Oh my God. But I mean, I have no problem like camping out, like having Pete drop me off like 10 o'clock in the morning with a lawn chair and a book, and then when the restaurant opens up at like 11 o'clock.
Well, I also have an issue with them pulling a profit off of a $14.99 all-you-can-eat salad bar, and they have like sushi and crab legs, and I'm like, well, what grade is this food that you're able to pull a profit?
How's it profit? Well, the profits are not the mimosas everybody's drinking. probably.
Well,
The Bloody
you
Marys.
know the hometown buffet. Those people are there to eat. They're
There's
not.
there's no booze there. Yeah, there's no
They
there's no
must-
crab legs at the home buffet.
Well, those
Guarantee
every
that.
like Chinese restaurant buffet has crab legs and like weird sushi and foodborne illnesses just
there
waiting
was
to happen.
there was a place on Cape Cod. It was called like Super Buffet. One of those generic signs out front, and they used to bus everybody in, and the tourist bus. And almost every month, you'd see in the paper that was some kind of like outbreak of like some intestinal
A
thing.
new one
or-
just opened in town, and it's
over
maybe I
at
shouldn't
the-
say their name, but they're not going to listen to this. It's called Asian Buffet,
Buffet.
which is like the
Hello,
it's
really?
that sounds racist just because like it is, but the N doesn't light up and the T doesn't light up, so it says Asia Boof at night, which I feel is like what happens after you eat
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Ugh, I don't know. They creep me out, and so I am a pharmacist by trade, and so part of your training as a pharmacist is you have to take microbiology, and so it's literally the first chapter of the book where they talk about salad bars. And
They do?
Oh yeah, I wish
Oh
I
my
still had the
God.
book, but I sold all that shit back because books were expensive and I was poor.
Exactly.
Yeah, the first thing was about salad bars and the amount of foodborne illnesses that can come from improper refrigeration of food. And mostly it's like mayonnaise-based things.
Like
but
potato salad.
yeah, don't ruin that for me.
Yeah.
I also like egg salad.
I love egg salad.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I love egg salad on a toasted English muffin.
It's so good. I like
So
egg
good.
salad on like just plain old white bread. Sorry. Yeah. So that like ruined salad bars for me, but that class ruined everything for me. I was convinced I had every, disease that you could possibly get.
Well, I mean, you can't avoid germs. I mean, you can be germaphobic. You can't avoid them.
No.
But I'm not. I mean, so I mentioned the salad bar topic less about the germophobia and more about just it creates a lot of anxiety for me because well, I am a bit afraid about getting sick, but also the people that you interact with at the salad bar just get me all amped up.
Well, have you ever been around a kid who like they don't know any better to put their finger in a cake or like take a bite of something and be like I don't like that and put it back.
Yeah.
That shit is happening at a salad bar.
All the time. They should have they have a camera on you at a casino every foot you're there, right? So you cannot be not filmed at a casino. There's no camera in the salad bar.
So are you suggesting that they put
They
security?
monitor. Yeah, the old man
Oh.
should have been tackled.
Yeah, they should just like go around. You have like a laser sight on you as you're scooping the potato salad, and you have to like look around like Predator.
God.
So I'm supposed to make this okay for you,
Yes,
Mr.
Mr. Microbiology.
Yeah, go to a fucking restaurant. would be my idea for my coping mechanism.
This is why I started drinking martinis, to be honest with you, because I might. So
they're antibacterial.
yes, so it's like I want to if I'm gonna eat that crap
Yeah.
with all the E. coli and salmonella, at least try to kill it with some alcohol.
Well, that's why sushi is served with wasabi.
Yeah, and soy sauce.
Yeah.
Kills all the bacteria.
Oh, you must have watched the same documentary I did.
How about the guy who recently found out that he had been eating sushi a little bit too much and he had like a 19-foot tapeworm in his intestine?
Oh, I would kill for that. I would kill for that.
You can get rid of it. I mean, it's not a permanent thing, right?
Yeah, I think it involves a pencil and rolling.
Oh.
Yeah, that was also part of microbiology class.
Pencil and rolling
Yeah,
to get rid of a tapeworm?
yeah. You have to expose part of it. Yeah,
This is too much for me.
it's
Okay.
yeah.
Not
Turn this off if you're eating.
God.
But don't forget to
Wait,
make
you put
sure
a
you
string
like
on
and
it?
comment
You
us.
put a string on it and you roll the pencil?
you
Like tug of war, basically.
you wrap it around like a spaghetti noodle on a fork.
Oh,
I
my
know.
God.
Oh, why did I just make that? Like I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Well, if you had a 19-foot tapeworm, you'd be there for a full day wrapping that thing around the fork.
I think that's worth that full day's work.
Can you drink something and just kind of poop it out?
I'm pretty sure they have like hooks on their head that they just like dig in.
Come on.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, God.
Maybe we'll have to get like a Twitter account and I can post pictures of tapeworms.
Tapeworms?
Yeah.
Salad
We'll be
bars.
super popular.
We should do that. We should do an episode where we actually, like a video episode, and we go
Where
to
we
like,
get tapeworms?
salad bars and we do the blue light on it. Kill the lights.
So that's saying I'm gonna go back to this microbiology class. We had to choose. We each had to choose something, and we had to swab it, and then we had to incubate it. And people were choosing lazy people were choosing doorknobs or toilet handles, and then we incubated all of this stuff in this room. And when you opened it, oh my god, the worst smell ever. So I was like, "What's a gross thing?" And I had a list of 60, but I went with a gas pump because no one. I'm pretty sure no one in the history of man has ever cleaned a gas pump
pump.
handle. Well, let me tell you, the professor was like astonished at the shit they pulled off of
Oh my
that.
god, it had like Ebola on it or something.
Yeah, and
Oh
you
my God.
always touch it, right? And so, like, when I travel for work and I'm driving, I usually am grabbing a snack or a drink and I'm pumping gas and then I'm eating that. Ugh, not anymore.
No, I hadn't thought about that, and I'm always the one who pumps the gas.
Unless you're in New Jersey.
What?
They don't let you pump your own gas in New Jersey.
They don't.
No, it's illegal. It's the best thing ever. They get
I've only
really
ever
mad
taken
if
an
you try.
Uber in New Jersey, so
Oh, no.
I train
So
it down from Boston.
If you go into New Jersey and try to pump your own gas, it's like you're bombing the Pentagon. Like they're like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, oh, I had no idea. So I
Does it
pulled up.
cost more?
No, it's the best. So I try to
That's a
drive.
weird
I try to
law.
run out of gas in New Jersey.
That's a
if I
weird
can.
law.
I know. It's like
That's
the
odd.
only good thing about New Jersey. Sorry, New Jersey listeners.
So I was listening to NPR the other day on Boston Public Radio, and they had to think about toothbrushes and how
Yeah.
dirty. I mean, obviously it's in your mouth, right? And you're
Yeah,
cleaning it out.
mouths are
But
disgusting.
nobody disinfects their toothbrush that I know of. I mean, I just throw it back in the drawer and then off we go, right? So
Yeah, I probably replace mine way less than I should. But usually, like after I have a cold, I'll throw it out. Or I have seen this thing where you can like put it in this like light box, and it apparently like ruins things. It was
how
in
about
Sky Mall.
how about a cup of like mouthwash?
Just dunk it in your martini.
Exactly.
Just have like a bath.
Yeah, I usually have martini right when I get up in the morning, right before I go to bed. So it's perfect.
Hey, maybe
I usually thinking about trading toothbrush. I usually trade mine in when it starts to look like one of those like Afghan dogs.
Oh,
It's like the bristles are like all kind of like hung over the side of it.
that means you're brushing too hard.
That's what I'm accused of. My hygienist says like, you are a rough brusher.
Oh.
I go, you have no idea.
Wait, future episodes coming on the dentist.
Don't.
They-
I actually love the dentist. I could actually talk you through this.
That might be my next one, but I promised I wouldn't.
I actually
I'm gonna
fall asleep usually when I'm there. It's so relaxing to me.
You are a psycho. The woman said to me, she's like, you left handprints on my chair because I leave with like a claw hand.
What is it? Is it like the whole process? Is it the scraping of your teeth? What is?
Well, I mean, it's unpleasant, right? Because they're in your mouth, and I'm also worried that they're like gonna say something's really wrong and needs to be done.
a
Like,
tumor on your back of your throat or something like that?
no, God, that was dark. No, like that.
That's what I
Oh,
think
this
about.
tooth needs to come out, and then I'm like, well,
Why?
like my front tooth, and then like how long until I get something in there, and then I'm not gonna be able to like
could whistle.
smile.
You
I
could whistle
can't
to us.
whistle. I've never been able to whistle.
I can only whistle by inhaling. I can't whistle blowing out. Isn't that
Oh.
weird?
That is weird.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's weird that we went from salad bars to
whistling.
whistling.
So, Kevin, you're supposed to convince me that salad bars aren't as terrifying.
I told you, you just go to restaurants and you avoid it. But there's also got to be something you can probably do. So avoid mayonnaise-based foods,
Yeah, I'm not really big on like potato salads.
and just don't pay any attention to the people that you're dining with, and keep one eye on the salad bar. And when they put down the new pan of food,
run
over there. Yeah, I don't
just
care what it is. You
kind of
eat that.
hover around the salad bar until they
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
I feel like there's probably some safe foods, like vegetables are probably okay, and anything with a ton of sugar.
I would think the hot foods would be safer because they're being cooked.
No, because then they're incubating germs.
Oh God.
Yeah. Because they're not being actively cooked. Like that, a salad bar is just basically like, it's probably got water in the bottom that they heat up, and the food just stays warm.
Yeah.
So it's not hot enough to kill.
Okay.
That's why like chicken's got to get to like a certain temperature.
There's nothing worse. So I love those rotisserie chickens you bring home from the supermarket, and you
Oh,
can
yeah.
like, carve it up and stuff. But like the last two ones I've gotten from the local grocery store, I like cut into like the leg or the thigh part, and like blood came out.
I did not eat chicken on the bone from literally the age of 7 to probably about 27, because I once bit into Kentucky Fried Chicken and it bled.
Oh God, no,
And
no.
that was
no.
it was the worst. I mean, you can talk to my mother about it. Like, I would not eat any food on the bone.
So I did not eat chickens like not raw, but I did not eat chicken for a while.
Just didn't pick up a
because,
chicken
let me
and
tell
snap
you,
its neck.
actually, it's more like eggs, to be honest with you, because when I was in high school, I skipped school and I was at my friend Amy's house, and we decided to make like chocolate chip cookies for obvious reasons. And I cracked an egg open, and a little baby bird fell out of it.
There's no way.
I, as God as my witness, a little like, and it was fully formed. This little like dead bird fell out, and like this like placenta, and I was like, that clearly rolled
How
through the
big?
pasteurization process a little bit too fast.
Like how? Oh my God! How?
It had a beak and a head and little tiny.
So that was like gestated.
Yeah, it was pretty intense, and it smelled like the worst dog fart you've ever had. It was awful.
Oh, I would have been a vegan.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
How much time are we in here? I feel like we could talk all day.
Yeah.
That is fucking
Isn't that
gross.
crazy?
Did you make the cookies?
We kind of like scooped the dead bird out of the mix. I'm kidding. You
I was
think
like-
I would actually eat that? No
Oh,
way.
I was worried I was dealing with
Oh
a
my
serial
God,
killer.
Yeah. Yeah, true story.
How
I was
much
like,
time have we spent here?
oh, I don't know. I can't see. You know, I can't see anything.
No, 35 minutes.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
good.
Yeah, we're good. So,
That's they used to eat those like eggs on Survivor that were like they're called, oh my gosh, I don't know why I know this, but it's called balut.
balut?
Yeah, I think it's BALUT. If it's not right, it is.
It's an
now.
egg from like what?
It's like an egg that is. It was like almost hatched as a chicken, and then they cook it, and it's like half hard boiled egg, half bird.
Oh my god!
But you have
a
to like
Pokemon.
eat. Yeah, it's a Pokemon that is
Like a
caught,
Chansey.
and you have to eat it. And they would eat it on Survivor, and
No.
mm,
This is why I never auditioned for like the Fear Factor. I could do all that stuff where you jump off
Yeah.
things, and I'd be terrified and screaming like insanely, But
I feel like all the people on Fear Factor were like people whose dreams didn't come true.
oh my god!
What?
Kevin.
It's true. Most of them were like these like ripped, muscly types who were like,
They felt they felt kind of like actor wannabes, like they wanted to use Fear Factor to launch their career.
right. Couldn't be an American Gladiator. Couldn't cut on a soap opera. I'll eat a tarantula.
I'll eat a tarantula, which I did by the way. In
Now
Cambodia.
somebody will love me. You did?
Yeah, I was gonna say that story for my spider episode, but
Please
yeah.
do, because I'm already thinking about the bird egg and the salad
No,
bars.
Sorry.
I feel like this podcast is going to be a great diet aid.
And I honestly, to this day, I had eggs this morning actually, and every time I crack an egg, I'm expecting to see a bird fly out of it because it was like 30 years ago, right?
Oh,
So,
for sure. Once something bad happens, it happens in your head all the time.
yeah, I mean,
Like, the room we're sitting in was like basically half underwater when I came home once.
that's right,
Yeah.
the flood.
So
Yeah.
every time I leave the house now, I'm
you
like,
hear dripping water.
yeah, no. If I hear any dripping water, I'm like, well, this is it. It's happening again.
The Great Flood again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I actually, talking about eggs made me think of like a big fear that I had as a child. Well, actually, it was more my sister's fear, and that was of the Easter Bunny. When you think about it, Easter is on. I don't know when this will actually get posted, but Easter is a few days away. It's a terrifying thing that we tell children, that this like 8-foot rabbit is going to break in your house
And throw eggs at you.
Well, I don't think they throw them, but hide.
Well, my family, we did.
Yeah, I mean, hide like unfertilized chicken eggs around your house,
Yeah.
and then give you a basket of stuff, and then just leave.
Well, it's like Santa Claus,
Well, Santa Claus brings presents, like way better presents.
but he
than the
breaks
Easter
into
Bunny.
your house in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Drinks your milk and eats your cookies.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. So as a child, this is how precocious I was. I was 3. My mother loves to tell this story. She says, you were driving, and I think it was right before Easter. And she said, I was just sitting there, and I looked over, and I said, Mom, I know there's no such thing as the Tooth Fairy or the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus. I've known for years.
Years.
For years. I was 3. And she said, I just looked at you and said, don't tell your sister. But my sister was so terrified of the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy that she used to leave her tooth in the mailbox so the Tooth Fairy wouldn't come in. And I had to sleep onto the floor of her bedroom every Easter night or Easter Eve and every Christmas Eve, just so that like I was going to
Protection.
protect her. Yeah, because I'm so manly.
Well, I have an old like Polaroid picture from back in like the late 70s of my dad dressed up like the Easter Bunny in this big pink onesie that buttoned up in the back, and he was like bouncing around the house. I mean, I don't remember it really, but I recall the picture. I have it in my picture collection. But oh my
No
god!
wonder we have issues.
And how do you ever get that out of your memory?
I know.
That's like seared in the back of my retina.
I feel like they should give you a picture of the person in the mall who's under the suit too, so just like you're not,
like,
so you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Because like, who
Yeah.
mall Santas make a shit ton of money.
No, they do not.
They make like $100 an hour.
What?
Yeah. Oh,
To have babies in your lap the whole day?
I knew a guy.
Honestly, I mean, they deserve $100 an hour. Can you imagine spending a day with screaming children?
Plus, if like you're gonna grow that beard,
wet diaper in your lap for 12 hours a day? No way.
I think maybe should get more. That's why those pictures cost like
$75
yeah, it's
for
like
a
you need
picture
to give
with
them a
Santa.
kidney.
Yeah.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Wasn't there? I know this is a true story. Wasn't there like a situation a couple of years ago where the Santa at some mall, like in the Midwest, maybe was like a sex offender? They didn't do any background check.
I'm just gonna say yes.
He's like holding kids the whole day. It's
Ugh.
like, what the fuck?
And
I
people,
don't mean to laugh about that, but it's like, honestly, like, shouldn't you do a background check for a man who's gonna be holding your kids for a picture?
yeah. Oh God.
My
And
God.
I don't even want to get into the
This is why
lap
this is why I
issue.
don't have kids.
Well,
I'd be
it's like
stressed out from.
that's a very long list of why we don't have children.
Well, it's true, but anxiety is one of them.
Yeah. I feel like we
so-
should talk about something nice that happened this
Yeah.
week, or something that didn't cause us anxiety, or maybe gave us hope in the world. I tend to notice those a whole lot less.
I know, but it's hard for me to do because I'm programmed to see everything that makes me anxious, right? So
Well, actually, there was something I noticed today when traveling back from the airport. I thought about the baggage carousel at the airport and how it started as bad as how easy it is for you to steal someone's shit, right? Like you just take a bag and walk away.
walk away.
Right? But I'd have to look this up, but I don't feel like it happens a lot.
I could never do that because I would get the bag with the bum wheel and I'd be like, click, 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 click. They would catch me immediately.
That would be your concern, that you got the bad wheel one. Mine would
catch me
be
and
that
I'd
it
be
would just be
horrified.
like full of like body parts
Weapons,
and weapons.
Spiders.
But I don't know. I thought that was nice, and there's always like an old lady on a plane who is just struggling to get her bag down from the overhead compartment, and usually people come to her aid, and so that was the nice thing I noticed. It's very small, but
That was nice.
yeah.
Yeah. So what I try to do, I try to do, and this is truly an altruistic gesture. I don't do it for any kind of, I don't even talk about it really very, very often, but it's a very
Except on
common
a
thing.
national podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But when I go to Dunkin' Donuts, let's say, when I'm actually ordering correctly, because I told you that story what happened to me this morning, where I went and I skipped the order station and went right to the window and threw the whole line off, and they were like in a big tizzy. But
And you got mad because they didn't have your order ready that you never ordered.
yeah, I never ordered it. I swear I ordered it, but I didn't. But I always just pay for the person's order behind me. Sometimes it's like $1.95 or $2. For one time, I paid for it, and I guess they were throwing a staff party. It was like $50. I was like,
can you take back a good deed?
Yeah,
Be
it's
like,
like-
oh.
I'll buy the person behind them, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. But
I've done that before. No one's ever done it for me, which
oh really?
yeah, but when do you go to Dunkin' Donuts? I'll make sure that I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. Stalking me in the parking lot.
That is nice.
I do have Tollbooths too. When I know that more people have those like easy passes, but I still have the old school like cash.
Well,
and
when
I pay for the behind me. Say if it's $2
yeah,
or $5.
before I got
whatever.
mine, I would drive. I drove. My ex lived in New Jersey, so we would go visit his family on Christmas Eve and then drive back to see mine on Christmas. And I always felt bad for the toll booth people, so I brought them scratch tickets and a chocolate Santa and paid my toll with that. And you want to see people like be appreciated, like usually toll booth workers are a little surly. They were so like appreciative.
I told you my Tollbooth story, right?
I poisoned the chocolate Santa.
I've told you the classic Christmas Eve Tollbooth story, right?
No.
So when Pete and I were in Connecticut at the time, so we moved away for about a year or so, and we were traveling back from my parents' house in Western Mass, and we were on the Mass Pike, and we got off at like the Worcester area to come back to Connecticut, and we were like super happy, with the whole family. Christmas Eve is one of my favorite times of the year, favorite night of the year. I love Christmas Eve. I just get kind of like
Boozy.
boozy, but I was actually sober, but I wasn't driving. But I just get like emotional and like just kind of thinking about my childhood and stuff. So it's a really important day for me. Anyways,
Oh, look at
so-
you, Charlie Brown.
So Pete and I are holding hands, and Pete pulls up and Pete's like, "Merry Christmas," and the guy leaned in and smacked Pete in the face.
What?
I didn't tell you the story.
No.
it was like I was like I saw out of the corner of my eye, and it kind of happened in slow motion. It's like, whack.
Well, we're supposed to be giving people less anxiety. Now people are going to worry about assault. I always worry that when they have say exact change only, and I have that moment of like,
Oh my god, I don't have any pennies.
yeah,
Crap.
sorry.
Anyway.
Why did he slap him?
We have no. Well, we thought because we were holding hands, right? And so I was like, well, that's kind of like so stupid.
That's
it's like
a weird.
2013 or whatever. But so we pull off. He pulls up and he pulls over and he calls the state police and says like, who's on on duty tonight? And we get a hold of the guy on duty, and he's like, what? And he's like, pull the footage from the tape. And sure enough, they pull the footage, and apparently the guy was having a bad. He was like pissed off because he had to work on Christmas Eve, and Pete's cherry Merry Christmas kind of put him over the edge, and he sucker punched him in the face. I laugh about it now because it was like so traumatic.
Did you like file a lawsuit or
no? We just said, can you please like at least terminate the man because he should not be.
Did you get your 35 cents back?
We never paid it because we just took off. We feared for.
It'd be great if they sent you a ticket after that.
Yeah, that was like so bizarre, and the guy never apologized. He said I was stressed out. It's Christmas Eve. He was way too happy. I was like, oh my god.
That is insane.
Yeah, we talked about it for like months afterwards, and like we had this whole like story about like like this whack.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like
it made a huge. I mean, it was like pretty substantial smack.
Wow.
I mean, looking back, Pete probably could have had the guy arrested for like assault.
Absolutely. Was his hand wet? Wet slaps hurt way more.
Well, Pete can be a little dramatic, right? So
I'm sure the story now he was stabbed.
When he got the police on the phone, he's like, "I was just sexually assaulted at the toll booth." I go, "Yeah, it's
sexually assaulted."
What
did he slap him
I know
with?
you like being slapped, but I was like, "No, that's probably not the accurate depiction of what happened." But yeah, but like, oh my god, the police called us like 4 times to like.
So moral of the story: everyone get an easy pass.
Yeah, get an easy pass.
Jeez.
Don't stop at the toll booth. Good lord.
35 cents and a bruise later. Oh my god.
I thought I told you that story.
No.
Yeah, that was one of our like our go-to stories like for a couple of years after it happened. But
wow. Insane.
Joseph Pete needed 22 years in the military, 2 tours in Afghanistan, and he gets slapped up.
Yeah.
Toll booth.
Assaulted by.
Oh my god!
I hope they make good money.
I heard they make pretty good money, but it's one of those dying industries, right? So now that
don't you think they like all get cancer?
It's all the exhaust you're breathing all day long.
Oh,
yeah, they have to. Because you can't even grow like an arborvitae tree next to the highway without dying, right?
Arborvitae. Wow.
It's like those pine tree things. Like they're always like burned from the exhaust. You've seen them on the side of the road.
I thought they burn them. No, I think they burn them on purpose. I think there's like a truck that burns trees on the highway.
Why are you ruining this for me?
Oh, sorry. No, it's the exhaust. You're like Al Gore over here. Inconvenient truth about burn. I'm going to look that up for next time.
Arborvitae, even if you have them on your driveway, like the exhaust in your driveway will like burn them, and they get like all brown on one side but green on the other. It's like.
I wonder if trees have anxiety about that.
Well, wasn't there a story in the news that a researcher has empirical proof that vegetables know you're eating them?
Oh, God. Those green beans now have a story. They were just screaming inside in green bean language.
That was a
There's a documentary out right now. It just came on Amazon Prime about like plants have feelings or some shit like that.
Well, so again, going back several decades when I was in college at UMass, we had a philosophy class, and the professor, he didn't kill a rat, but he basically it was like a sort of a demonstration. Like if you took a rat and snapped its neck and killed it, and then you took a flower and popped the head of the flower off, you would probably have a stronger reaction to snapping the rat's neck and have no reaction to. And he's like, these are both living things.
Well, yeah, like sorry, vegetarians, but I feel like you're playing God a little bit, deciding what can and can't die for your nourishment.
I know.
Anyways,
we have to eat something. But
we gotta eat something. Yeah.
So
we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah. So, want to remind folks how to get a hold of us? with questions, comments, feedback.
Yes. So
topics.
our best way to get us is through email, and that is terrifyinglybeautiful@gmail.com.
If you can spell it.
Yes, I know it's really long.
It's long, but you want it to be kind of aligned with the podcast, though.
Yeah, we love the name, and we kind of came up with the name because that's how we feel about the world. It is a terrifying, scary place, but there's also so much beauty and so many things to do and experience. And I know that there are people out there with crippling anxiety who can't leave the house, and we are, like I said, we're not medical experts, but we're hoping that people can take those tiny little fears that prevent them from doing things and try to look past them.
Yeah, push through them.
Eat at a salad bar.
I'm gonna try the buffet at the casino one more time and see what happens.
Okay.
I promise you I'll report it back out on the next episode.
Cool. And I'll let the Easter Bunny in this year.
Great. Let's see how that goes. That's coming up in a couple days. 2 days?
Ugh,
3 days? Oh my gosh.
I used to always worry that we wouldn't find one of the eggs, and then it would just be like a nightmare.
And you'd find it like 6 years later.
Yeah, and then it's a survivor
with
challenge.
With some calcified gummy bear inside of it or something.
So
Yeah.
gross.
But shouldn't we have like a closeout statement? What was the one you come up with the other day?
Oh, life's crazy. You don't have to be.
I love it.
That's how I kind of feel.
Yeah, it's true.
I hate the
It's
word
true.
crazy because it has all these connotations. But, I've dealt with plenty of mental health patients in my profession. They actually really like that word, some of them at least. So, I'm not saying that people are crazy, but it's a good word for it. Life is crazy. It's difficult to deal with and often not fun. But when you can make fun of it about how not fun it
Have
is.
a sense of humor about it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
exactly.
So we hope everyone can get past what's causing them anxiety this week, and we hope this podcast has brought you a little bit of joy in this crazy world. And please tune in next time.
All right, peace out.
Bye.